Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Mac Effect. I really appreciate you guys tuning in like always. Always so grateful, so humbled that you guys continue to show love to this channel, to show love to me. If you've been walking with me from the beginning or if not, I'll share really quickly with you. The Mac Effect was something that was born in my heart, I want to say 5 years ago. But fear was something that kept holding me back from even bringing it to life because of fear of failure, fear of the unknown, a lot of things that I actually discussed in season 1 of the Mac Effect. But here we are now in season 3, and I have another great, amazing guest that I want to interview and I want to share with you guys. So today I have a ex-coworker that will probably touch a little bit and reminisce a little bit about memory lane as far as that situation goes. But it's my pleasure, my honor to bring to the Mac Effect, Alfredo Jaime. What up, bro?
What's going on, man?
What's up, man? It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, thank you for having me, bro. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to coming on the Mac Effect. I tell all my guests, but it's not because I don't mean it. I tell them because it means so much to me. Anyone that takes the time to come out and be on the show, like this is healing something internally in me. So when you take your time to invest in the show, you're healing something in me, man. So I thank everyone that has been on the show, and I thank you for being part of it.
And that's what's up, man. That's pretty deep.
Yeah, it is deep, man. It's and to be honest with you, one of the things that I've been learning is to go deep as far as my emotions go. I used to think like I have big feelings, you know, and I used to think like, why do I care so much about certain things and certain stuff? It's just how God made me, and I'm someone that's deep. But
yeah, I think I'm the same way in a lot of ways too.
Yeah,
I'm very deep too.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah, and I want to get to that. I do want to share with my viewers. So my homie here has done his homework in his private time. So you're gonna see his little one come in and out of the shot. Don't mind her. We will introduce her probably at the end of the show or whatever, so you guys can meet her. But that little cutie's just gonna be running around, and it's all good. All right. So, Alfredo, we're eventually going to get to the story of how she came about and all that stuff. But, so I just want to share a little background with the people as far as, you know, how do we know each other? I actually worked with you at a company called Baron HR in Santa Fe Springs. That's where I got to meet you and know you. And one of the reasons why I brought you to the show is because I see that you're starting to do something that's more self-made. Like you kind of discovered something that you genuinely liked and you're pushing towards that. Now you're in the transition where you're not like 100% in it, but you're also like, you're in a much better place than typical people because some people are too afraid to even go after it.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I brought you in, because that like, it spoke to me like, man, dude, like I love the fact that he found a passion. He knows his niche of what he's good at, and he's going after it. So if you don't mind sharing with me, I know we met again in Barron, but how'd that transition happen from staffing to now even explain to me, I know you're not like a physical therapist, but you're more of like a correctional.
Yeah. So just basically right after you go to physical therapy, they clear you, you know, but most people don't have like full range of motion or their strength back. So what happens is they go to the gym, they start working out, and bro, start getting more messed up, you know, because you didn't fully finish the healing process, you know. So then people start going to chiropractors, they start having to do like a bunch of massages and all these things, you know. But yeah, I mean, going back to what you asked, like what made me get into this was my motorcycle accident, you know.
That's right.
So I was T-boned in a motorcycle, and like going through my recovery, like, you know, I noticed like nobody really cared that much, you know, especially like the more that they would see me like healthy, you can say like, oh, he's kind of coming back or whatever. People would care, like they wouldn't notice things, right? Because for me, it was like I knew I didn't have full range of motion, but I had motion already and I had my fingers. So for people, that was enough, you know, but for me, it wasn't.
Correct.
So I would always be like, you know what, I got to go do therapy. Like I'm going to sit there, do it and like figure it out until I can make it happen, you know? And like not a lot of people understand that type of drive for real. Because when I would do it, they'll be like, dang, therapy again. It's like, is that all you're doing and stuff? Well, yeah, you know, like shit. In all reality, it was, and until I just kept going, and even in the end, I didn't get full range. I got like 90%, even after all my work.
Okay.
And I was like, damn, there's like, this is it, I guess, And then like, I would work out still. I started training. I started doing my thing. And then I was like, no, you know what? Like, I think I could figure this out. Because on 2019, I got my PT, my certificate.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I'm a trainer or whatever. Like, I thought that I was going to learn enough to help me kind of get better because I still felt pain. And then it was like, nah, it wasn't enough. And so I started doing more research. And I'm like, let's try corrective exercise, And then, dude, like, that shit was hard.
Yeah.
It was
When you started doing corrective exercises, I remember when I was working there, you were like doing it on your pops.
Oh yeah.
You were doing it on your pops. Like, were you kind of like testing it? Not, I don't want to make it sound like you were he was your guinea pig, but like, were you testing it out on him, or what was the vision on that?
No, like when my dad fell from a roof, that's another story, right? But he was coming back, and we were just kind of helping him. Me and my brother were helping him like walk, just do regular activities. So it wasn't really so much like corrective. It was more just to like get back to like a normal state.
Yeah,
you could say, And but I never and I still want to help him. I want him to get like strength back or whatever, but it's not as easy as people think it is, like, hey, I can just grab my pops and make it happen, like, it sounds easy. Everything sounds easy to everybody, but once you have to do it, it's a whole different ball game, and there's a lot of things that come with like willingness, like, are they willing, like, is the time gonna fit, like, it's just a lot of stuff, right?
I get it.
But man, I feel like I went hella off topic here.
No. But you're on the same topic. The thing that impresses me, to be honest with you, Alfredo, is because what you're saying is spot on. Like, you have to have the will for it. And one thing that I'm noticing on anything that you do, like, I love the podcast. I love speaking. I love connecting. And because the love and the passion is there, it doesn't feel like work. It becomes more just like you're doing it because you love it.
Yeah.
And with you, I understand everything that you were saying, like the little details, like you're like, I got 90%, but only you knew what 100% feels like.
Yeah.
So when people are like, oh, he's moving, he's doing this, he's back to normal. It's like, it could look like that from the outside.
Yeah.
But I know that these fingers are supposed to go a little bit more back. Like, I know that I can do more.
Yes.
And then you knew that you're like, I don't want to be settled for 90%. I want full range motion.
Exactly. Yeah.
And to be honest, well, I'll probably add it to the clip as well a little bit. A couple weeks back, I went to your training facility. Yeah. You were showing me a little bit of the techniques as far as range of motion. And my goodness, bro, I had no idea that I was very limited in motion. But you were like really showing me like, no, you're not supposed to just stop here. Like, your shoulder can go back here, and it is meant to like rotate and move and stuff like that. So I'll show the video a little bit of the workout, but even at the end when you were doing recovery, bro, you were killing me with recovery, bro. I thought you were sweating that day. You were like, my goodness.
Yeah, it's important. Like, honestly, in the fitness industry, I noticed that even like the most like bodybuilder show people, they have imbalances, like very rare that you see a symmetric person. Like the bicep is the same, the quads are the same, the calves are the same, and I don't know why I'm big on that. I don't want to have one. I mean, I think it's because my arm failed on me, so I always saw this arm as a weaker arm, and I would look in the mirror and I'll flex. I'll be like, hey, I don't like that. So it got in my head with every body part. So that's probably why I started focusing more on that. And as time goes by, like, I'm noticing like big bodybuilders and stuff, like they just keep going just because the muscle's big. But in all reality, like, that's why I'm just like, people are always going to choose what they love and just run with that. Correct. Because it's like, what am I going to come and tell this guy? They're going to be like, shut up.
Who are you? Yeah, correct. Like, bro, look at my upper body. Like, I get it.
Look at all the stuff I'm doing, and it's just like, come on, bro. You can't really be doing that. So I only help the people that reach out, like I do try to, do my thing, of course, to get people. But at the end of the the day, most people are coming to me like, hey, this is what's going on, or this is what's going on. And I really love that. I like when someone is like, hey, this and that. And then I'm like, okay, let's go try it, you know? Usually the person will see like, hey, this guy, like, you know, and if not, then I want to know why. Like, I want to be better. So tell me, because obviously you were a lot different than everybody else I worked with, and I'm sure there's people like you in the world.
Correct.
So what can I do to help you still? Like,
Yeah,
what did
yeah.
I do wrong? Was it this or that? And I like to know for myself, because I want to be able to work with the variety of people, you know? Like, I like variety. Like, you know, for me, it seems like I get along with a lot of old people. I always catch myself like
You're
talking.
old school. Like
Yeah.
you have a internal old school clock.
Yeah, so like I bond with old people. Like I talk to, and then it's like I talk to younger people, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's like what?
I get what you're saying.
just
Like partying, drinking, this, and you're
Yeah,
just
like,
kind of like, that's just not my
yeah,
scene. I get it.
yeah, and it's like, bro, if you can't, like, if somebody were like, you can't catch me at a club, bro, you can't.
Yeah.
And maybe if you
Here,
do
give me.
catch,
I'll take the thing out of your hands.
Oh.
Yeah, because I'm like, we're not sponsored by them. Nah, just kidding.
like at a bar, like, dude, if I ever go out, it has to be like because something is going
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
you know?
correct.
Not because like
It's a
there's-
Friday night. Let's just do it.
Or people that are like, oh, I'm having a bad day, I'm gonna go over here. Like, that's not me. Like, when I have bad days, I just like really try to work on myself. You know,
yeah.
like I really do, bro. And I think that has helped me grow a lot over the years. You know, because so like instead of like binging on something, I would like, don't get me wrong, like when I have stuff going on, like I do get like sad and down, and I need a little bit of time, and I'll think, but I like to think and let those thoughts soak in,
Process them.
yeah, like just like, you know what, like let it hit, you know. And then like I'll just wake up and be like, you know what, let's do some push-ups or something.
Yeah.
You know, let's start doing
That's
this.
good.
Let's start reading, or let's start like looking at good videos, or even listening to music. You know, like I do listen to a lot of like different types of music now. Like, sure, I still bump pencil, like, obviously, like it's something that I know. Like when I listen to the lyrics, I'm like, hey, I can't relate or nothing, but it's just so damn catchy, bro.
Yeah.
You hear it everywhere. So, but I either like to listen to nothing, like in the car when I'm driving, and most people think that's weird, or I'll listen to like some worship music, or sometimes I just leave the music on, like
Yeah.
106.
Yeah.
I just mind it, but
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And you know what? Don't feel weird. Like, one thing that I'm noticing when I'm connecting with so many people, when I say certain things like, man, maybe I'm the only one, a lot of people comment like, no, you're not. Like, I know exactly what that feeling is like, because I'm like you, bro. Like in the morning, sometimes my kids tell me like, Dad, can we put some music on? Because I just like it being quiet. Yeah. But they don't. My oldest daughter, she loves music, so she constantly wants to play music.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes worship. Sometimes you want to go, corridos. Sometimes you want to go hip hop. Sometimes you go Biggie, you go Tupac, whatever, right? Like I get it, but it changes with time to time. Yeah. Look. You're mentioning a lot of the stuff, and I know our viewers and listeners are watching or are hearing this, and they're like, okay, he mentioned something about a car accident. I know we got to the point where you've kind of are trying your best to build a temple, which is your body, that's like balanced. Obviously, it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to work out exactly the way we want, but I know you're working for like balance when it comes to your body. But I want to take it back a step. People heard something about an accident, but they don't know exactly what happened. So I know you said you were in a motorcycle and they T-boned you. What part of your body was the one that like suffered the most? And what year did this happen in?
What happened in 2015, and they basically, my whole right side got taken out.
Right side?
Yeah. So my
right leg?
Yeah. So my hand got detached, and so they had to put that together.
No, what do you mean detached, bro?
Like it was like on the side.
No.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I
That's why
didn't even know that.
That's why my fingers were stuck. So I had to get finger by finger,
Yeah.
And then my cheek broke, so I have metal on my cheek too.
No way.
Yeah. So, and then my leg.
Like you actively have it right now.
Yeah, I have metal on my cheek.
Oh shoot.
And then the rods on my arm, I got them removed in 2019 because I thought it was part of like what was holding me back for 100% mobility and stuff. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go back. So in 2019, I went back for another surgery to have them removed. So they removed like the rods and all the screws and stuff. and then of course another recovery. You have to wait. So that was like my last of that. But yeah, the motorcycle
And
accident.
removing did it help? Did you?
I it's hard to tell because I still struggled even after, but eventually I just made it happen. Like somehow, some way. Um, But going back to like the home, honestly, like this whole story it's a lot, I feel like it's so much.
I get it. I get
when
it.
I'm just thinking about it, I'm like, damn, I don't even know what part to talk about.
Yeah,
Because
because it's so overwhelming.
yeah, it really is. Because I like look back at that time of when I was riding, and like I felt really good, on the outside, like I had a motorcycle, I was in shape, I was doing my thing, like. But inside, I was pretty rotten.
And at that time, you were more like in the partying scene, the drinking.
But But inside, I looking back, I was rotten because
That's
like
crazy.
when I was riding, I remember when I saw the car, I was like, looking at it, I'm like, maybe do I go the opposite way? What do I do? And so I was like, I'm just gonna try to brake. So I braked. I started sliding. And, as a kid, I would always like BMX and skateboard. So I knew kind of how to like what to do when something was close. So as I was getting closer, I saw like, hey, like, yeah, I'm not going to make this, So I just let go of the bike. And I remember I saw the car. I just kicked the bike to the car and I went flying, But in that moment, bro, I was not scared to die. I was almost like casi como queriendo, bro. And if like looking back,
Like self-consciously, were you kind of tired of your life or something, or?
I don't know, bro. I don't know, but I thought about that recently, actually, and I was like, you know what? When that happened, I wasn't like, oh no, I wasn't, bro.
Yeah.
I really wasn't.
Yeah.
It was just more like, you know what? It's my time. Like, this is it.
It is what it is. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I think right now, as we're speaking this, Alfredo, to be honest with you, I think God is bringing you back to that moment to like show you, because you mentioned something, and I love your vulnerability on it, where you said, I was good on the outside, but I was rotten on the inside. And I think you can tell me, you could correct me if I'm wrong. I think that accident really like shook you in a way where it shook a lot of your fundamental cores. Like, I thought the outside was what's supposed to look good, and then something clicked where it's like, it's the inside that needs to be good.
Absolutely.
And I think with that, like, because I remember the years in Barron, bro, when we were co-workers.
Yeah.
Like, me caías bien because I knew deep down, I'm like, Alfredo has a good heart. Like, it's not about partying, because I've never been that either, dude. I've never been like I'm sure you saw it. Like, it was never like, let's go party, let's go drink, let's go do this. It wasn't like that. It was really more like fundamentally, I always, and till today, I'm still trying to heal internally first, because if I heal internally, then the ones that get blessed around me are my wife, my kids.
Absolutely.
And then they get to live a life a lot healthier than me, Yeah. So that's the goal. So right now, when I'm hearing you say that, I'm like, okay, I think God's kind of showing, because you even mentioned like, it's a lot. Guys, I mean, he had an accident. Can you imagine we get up and go to like A, B, C, D, whatever, drop the kids off, go to work, come back, whatever, right? There was a time in his life where he would close his eyes, he would wake up, and he was still in a hospital bed. Close his eyes, wake up, still in a hospital bed. And then on top of that, not just I'm just in a hospital bed, is I'm not able to do this, but this one's able to do this. And it could become very frustrating. And you could either let that moment put you in a pit. Man, God's speaking to me right now, bro. And it's through your testimony. It's like you could have called it a quits and just been all depressed, Alfredo, and just be like, I'm done. Like, this is so stupid. But you got off that bed, bro.
But I mean, at first I was like that though.
Wow.
At first I was like that.
Yeah.
Not only like I couldn't eat, bro. My cheek was broken, so I was on solid, and I also had a breathing tube. You know what I mean? So it was a lot, and I did not like when I first came back home. Like they had prescribed me Percocet. I don't know if you're familiar with Percocet, but it's a very strong drug, right? And even during that time,
allí en la oficina había una señora que cada rato decía, Norco.
Oh yeah, yeah, but that's like 2 times stronger, bro, right?
Yeah.
So when I had first got out, like I was in so much pain, you know, and they prescribed me like, hey, this is what you're supposed to take, right? So me, I would take them, and back then I loved to smoke back then, you know, so I would smoke and I would take a Percocet, and then bro, but it didn't last too long for me to realize like, hey, like this is numbing everything, but like I don't, bro. The whole Percocet thing will leave you like you don't like. I didn't feel no pain, bro. Wow. I would be in like this, like.
But would you be able to like move? Like, would you be active, or would it kind of put you in a position where you want to go to sleep?
Position to go to sleep. And then on top of that, getting high, because then it would, like, the Percocet would stop hitting as hard. So then you're like, more. Bro, it's literally so addictive. That's why.
Pues es droga, güey.
Yeah, that's why when it comes to that stuff, I'm very like, damn, like, I understand, bro. Pull through, homie. Like, wow. It's hard, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And then one day, literally from one day to the next, I said, I'm going to stop smoking and I'm not going to take this Percocet anymore.
Damn.
And I remember going to therapy and the lady's like, oh, did you take your Percocet, you know? And I was like, no. She's like, oh, you have to. And so she made me take it. And I was like, shit. So I'm like, all right, cool. We're doing the therapy. And then the next time I went, she asked me, did you take your Percocet? And I said, yeah.
But you didn't.
Yeah, yeah. And then so, like, you know, like, day after day.
Did you have withdrawals from it?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Like, but honestly, I don't know. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be because I quickly got up. You know, and then that's what strived me, the progress. So, like, within 30 days, I saw a big change, and I'm like, yeah, fuck that, like, never going back, you know. And then, like, it went a while, and then all my surroundings were kind of like that, you know. So, like, I started to notice that I didn't have nobody really to hang out with, you know. Like, shit, I'm alone.
Think your circle changed?
Yeah, like, damn, like, they're asking me to come smoke and stuff, and I'm like, shit, that's like, you know, like, yeah. I don't do that anymore. So I was like always kind of like alone, and I'm like, shit, like, all right, like, let's just get better at life, you know, like, let's see what we do here, you know. And I just, like, I quickly, bro, I started to love not being high, you know, like, I love the feeling of being normal and active because I had a whole life like that. You know? Yeah. So I was like, damn. And then as time went by, I would have like messed up moments in my life, you know? And I'll be like, I noticed I would run to that, you know?
Correct.
But bro, the first time I ran to that, I instantly regretted it and never went back.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, like that's now, like, it's not what I thought, you know?
Yeah.
And then, like, bro, that has probably been like the best thing that happened because, like, I don't know if I would have stopped. I don't know where I would have been, you know? Yeah. And then when I was working with you at Barron, my life was like barely changing there, you know? Like, Tanya got me right after the recovery process. So I was still new to, like,
getting your shit together.
Yeah, like, to all these things of, like,
I remember.
Like, just trying to be a better person, you know? And the thing that sucks is that people don't see that. They'll just think like, oh, this food, like, you know, like,
he's weird.
No, like, este güey ya se cree, like, like, all of a sudden, you know, like, nah, I know him, he's not like that, you know. And it's like, bro, yeah, you're right, you know, like, you did know me like that, you know. But it's like, bro, we change as humans, we grow, and you're supposed to evolve. You're supposed to be a better person, bro. You know, why would I need to be the same how I was when I was 21? It's just like, come on, bro, this like stupid thinking.
Why would I want to be loyal to that?
Yeah, and then I feel like the more passion you find in stuff that's good, like, it keeps you motivated. In the times that, like, obviously when you lose, nothing's ever smoothly, you know? Like, everything goes good when you're winning. You're motivated, you're this, you're that, but try losing. You know, when you lose, it's when you know.
It's when you find out your true character.
Exactly, because, like, the losses, it's hard to get up. It's hard to be motivated. It's hard, bro.
Yeah,
it's hard when you're stuck in a rut and you're not winning. It's like the hardest thing to do, you know?
You've said so much, Alfredo, right now that I know a lot of viewers, a lot of listeners are hearing you, bro. You mentioned, like, you know, getting away from the drugs, but then at some point wanting to kind of come back, but when you came back, you regret it. Like, there's viewers that are watching, bro, listeners that are hearing that are like, I'm going through a similar struggle. That's the reason why I created this space, because I know it's going to relate to someone, and they're hearing you and they're like, I get it. I shouldn't just stay in this rut. You're even speaking to me, bro, because I'm currently going through an inner child healing where I'm remembering old past traumas, like from my childhood, parents, and all kinds of stuff. And there's a lot of, like, don't believe in yourself. You're a failure. One of the reasons why the Mac Effect has taken so long to come out. But everything that you're saying, like, you just have to have that passion. And who are you when you lose? It speaks to me because it's starting to, like, feed my inner child. Like, you're right. Like, I could either choose a ponerme los moños aquí and just go, man, life's not fair.
Yeah.
Life's not fair. Or I could do something about it.
Dude, seriously, it's always just doing something about it. And sometimes some people don't agree, bro.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to agree with what you're doing. They think you should be doing something else, you know, or they don't know what you're doing. Like, and sometimes that's what people hate, when they don't, the unknown, like, hey, what is this guy doing? And it's like, I don't know. For me personally, like, I worry so much about myself and my own stuff that I don't really have time to worry about what another person's day looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy to support. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm happy to support. Like, hey, you know, you need this, I got you, you know? But as far as me going and being like, hey, what does Mike do in the mic? Come on, bro. I'm not going to, I have so much shit to think about, bro. Like,
bro,
the last thing
the reason why I'm pointing at the camera and I'm like, haters, listen up, haters. We do not have the time to go to your page and comment negative stuff because we're so busy focused on our stuff.
Yeah, but... No.
But because I get it, where there's certain people that mention, like, they say ugly things, man, like ugly things.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, who has the time to go out there? Sometimes these accounts, you can tell they're fake.
Yeah.
And you're just like, how do you have the time to make a fake account, create a fake Instagram, create a fake YouTube, whatever, just to come and say some random stuff? Like, I'm busy trying to raise legacy. I'm busy trying to create legacy. Like, I don't got time to go hate on anyone else's path that they're on. If anything, like, again, we haven't spoken in a long time. Yeah. But I would follow you on Instagram, and when I started seeing the progression, I was like, okay, I'm starting to see something. And as the Mac Effect came about, again, because I'm trying to develop myself and I'm trying to develop other men, other women, marriages. I'm just trying to help people in general. Yeah. I'm like, this is a good inspirational, your testimony that you have. Yeah. But also the bravery of, like, hey, I got to step into the passion of where my heart really is at.
Yeah. Of course.
Because I remember even in the barren days, you were physically active. Like, you never really wanted to, like, even like in the potluck days or whatever, like, you wouldn't want to pig out like other people like me. but you were always, like, in the healthy mindset of like, hey, and then I would even ask you, like, you know, what are you doing this weekend? And you're like, I'm gonna go sell paletas, bro. Like, I gotta hustle. I'm gonna go sell some paletas. And I'm like, all right. Yeah. And then you would pull up in a dope car. I remember, I don't remember the brand of it, but siempre que llegabas, and it was stick shift. And I actually, the day that we went to work out, I'm like, he still has it.
Oh, no way.
The BMW.
Oh, that's, you know what's crazy?
It has, like, the cage in it and everything. I'm like, dang, dude.
That car, I had not pulled it out for so long. And, like, I think that day, I think it was the day my tire got flat. And I came out and I'm like, damn, my tire's flat. Yeah. I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll fix it when I come back. So I just pulled that out. And then I noticed how dirty it was, bro. But honestly, that same day I got a ticket in that car, bro. I was like, oh my gosh,
the one time I bring it out, bro. Never mind.
But I was like, honestly, because I have been having that car sit, and I have, like, the sticker for the black ass. I haven't even put that on. Yeah. And I didn't have, like, nothing inside. Like, it's just been, like, a big project for me, right? And so when I got pulled over, I'm like, damn, me la va a hacer, like, me va a agarrar machín, because the seatbelt didn't even, you know, like, it was all bad, bro. And I was like, you know, he pulled me over, and he was like, hey, what's going on? And, you know, I talked to him a little bit, and I thought he was going to let me go, but he didn't ask no questions about everything, but he gave me a ticket, you know? And I was like, you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah,
you know,
it still sucks,
you know,
but I get it.
I was just like, you know what, have a good one, man. And then that was that. So, but.
All right. Well, look, we skipped a lot because we jumped into right away as far as, you know, what you do for a living and what your transition is and everything. Yeah. I want to take a step a little bit back. Who's Alfredo as far as your background goes? Like, where were you raised? You know, what school you went to and stuff like that.
Okay, well, I was born in Buena Park. Like in La Palma. Okay. That's what my birth certificate says. I grew up here in California. My parents originated and migrated from Jalisco.
Los dos son de Jalisco.
Yeah, los dos son de Jalisco.
They met over there or over here? Huh? They met over there or over here?
Over there.
Oh, okay. And then they made the decision to come over here.
Yeah, so we're from a small town called Huejuquilla.
Okay. So what's it called?
Huejuquilla.
Huquilla. Okay.
Huquilla, El Alto, Jalisco.
All right.
So that's where they came. I was pretty much born the first year they came. So I was born very, old school, like, typical straight Mexican
Traditional.
family. Yeah, traditional. And I grew up in Buena Park. I lived there my whole life.
How many siblings do you have?
I have 5 siblings. I have one brother and 4 sisters.
And you're the oldest?
No, I'm like, I guess like the second to last.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm towards the end.
So you were raised. You said you were Buena Park. Is that pretty much where you were raised your whole life?
Yeah.
Nice.
And so my older brothers, my older siblings, they were all born in Mexico too. So it was only me and my little sister that were born here.
Got it.
So
okay.
that's how our household. We were basically born over there, but because we grew up with them. So,
Yeah.
But obviously we weren't born there.
So how was it being raised in Buena Park, bro? The high schools there, was it like was there a lot of like violence and trouble there, or was it kind of chill?
I think it was a mix of whatever you were into. Like I grew up with a good friend of mine, and like we were very into like partying and stuff during that time, like party crew era. So we would go out, and we all had jobs. We were like, honestly, at 16 years old, we all had cars. We all were like super fitted. So we, as kids, like, life used to seem so easy. Like during that time, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to leave high school. I'm gonna make a lot of money, like all these things, because it was already like happening at such a young age. And
how would you do it? Well, were you working somewhere or what?
Well, me and my friend, we would work at the swap meet.
Okay.
And then after that, we started working at
Which one?
Santa Fe Springs.
Santa Fe
Yeah,
Springs.
we were there selling the pro clubs, 3 for $5.
All right. That was the pro clubs.
Yeah, and then we would like, even then, like, even when we were little, because we would do trades, like, hey, bring me those glasses y te doy 3 pro clubs, homie,
échale.
Tráeme los tamales,
Yeah.
And we were making trades. So even at a young age, we kind of were already like getting the grasp of business.
Hustlers.
And stuff like that,
Yeah.
And then we started working at Knott's Berry Farm together, and like we were in the games department, and just a lot of stuff happens there. A lot of stuff.
You see a lot of things.
Yeah, and people were like, during that time, like everybody was doing really good there. To say that.
Okay.
So the games were generating a lot of money. You know what I mean? So we were like, we were well off. So we were doing our thing. Came back to school and we're
Knott's Berry Farm's like, wait, the game only made $20. I don't know what happened, boss. It's just not a lot of people wanted to play basketball, but
the shift leader, homie.
Okay.
So we were like, we were obviously doing our thing and everything like that. So we had cars, we had clothes, and everything. Life seemed easy, bro. Like, and not like my friends.
Were you involved in any type of sport?
Yeah, actually I played baseball.
In high school?
Yeah, I played baseball in high school.
Okay.
So, I grew up playing baseball my whole life, but as a kid, like, I don't think I ever took it that serious, and I never really, like, I don't remember, like, training a lot. I don't remember doing a lot of things like that as a kid. But then once I got to high school, I noticed, like, I was more competitive. I was like, damn, I suck, like, I need to work on this stuff. So I started, like, I think my sophomore year was when I forgot the coach's name, but he was a really good coach. He was an asshole, but he was a good coach. So he got me to a pretty good level, but I was still like a jokester. I would mess around a lot, So one time we were playing practice, and like, I think one of the guys had pushed me, and so I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this back. So when we were running, I ran behind him and I kicked him hard, like my hardest, and he fell hard, bro. And then, like, everybody was laughing, and then, like, sure enough, the coach is like, Alfredo, get out of here, and I was like, fuck, like, so from there, I felt like it just was never really the same, and then my junior year, I was just like, you know what, I'm done. But honestly, that coach, like, put some time in me, and I remember, bro, I was doing good. Like, I'll hit good, I'll throw good. I was like, I had the potential. Obviously, not MLB, I'm short, but, I could have been.
You never know. There's a couple short players in there, bro.
Yeah, but I could have at least been pretty good in the high school level,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was that. I mean, we were into sports, but honestly, at that age, I would say we were more into girls, We're more into girls more than anything. Like, that was
and
like,
stuff, and making sure you have the nice car, the nice things. It's the época that one's in at that time.
And sometimes I look back at that, And that's why I never like to judge anybody, right, at all. Literally, like, I try to not judge at all. Like, everybody has their own path. The way they react is like a reflection of themselves, you know? Like,
Correct.
you know, I can only try, and sometimes I get out of character too, but I work on that,
We're guilty on that, yeah.
We're all guilty on that. You know,
You know, one thing that I'm noticing as you're speaking, Alfredo, you're very like you're very vulnerable. Like you're like, you know what? Sometimes I get out of character, and not many people say that. You know, like I don't know why. Like I've spoken to other men, and other men don't want to say like I blow up with my family sometimes. Like, bro, I blow up.
Yeah.
It just
It's
happens,
part
you know.
of it, bro. We're like, we're men. Like, at the end of the day, that's why, like, for me, I try to, like, always listen before you talk.
Yeah,
It's really
yeah.
important because, like, you can say so much things, like, at the moment, like, "Hey, da, da, da," and then you go back and you're like, damn,
I shouldn't have
I
said
didn't even
that.
mean
Yeah,
none of that.
yep,
You know, it's just
yep.
something that comes out in moments of anger. You know,
Correct.
like, so. But yeah, dude, like, going back to the high school thing, like, I was very appreciative of that, right? I don't even know if I said that right, but I appreciate those moments because I noticed that sometimes, like, the same, like, people that we grew up with that weren't in that, you know, now they grew up and they have money, now they're into that, you know, but we're old now.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Well, we're older.
yeah,
We're not old,
yeah,
but we're older.
Yeah, we're older now. So, like, to me, I don't judge because I'm like, you know, they've never experienced.
Yeah,
So maybe
yeah.
they need to experience.
Correct.
You know,
Some
they need
type
to get
of-
it
yeah.
out of their system.
Correct,
You know,
correct.
They need to feel whatever
Hardship.
Yeah, they need to, like, go through that and find out that that's not where it's at. You know, like, it literally not. Like, some people think that, but it's not. It's not. It's love where you find love somewhere and you
Yeah.
go with that. You know,
The things that money cannot buy.
yeah,
Correct.
literally they can't. A lot of guys in general, right? Like, maybe like 80, like, most of guys are always like, oh, that girl, like, hey, check out that girl. And, like, bro, of course, like, anything that's attractive or looks good, of course, people are gonna see that, you know. But it's what kind of thought did you put into that, you know? Like, did you, like, see that like, oh, damn, or did you see that like, oh, that's God's child, you know? And I
Yeah.
don't know, like, you have to find a perspective that's gonna work for you to not think in a certain way
Yeah,
to get
correct.
you out of whatever rut that is, right? Because that can really eat you up. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
It'll eat you up because you'll be like, oh, duh.
Yeah.
And it's like you're really losing your mind. And then at the end of the day, most of those people that you think are the most attractive are ugly, bro. They're ugly.
Yeah.
Straight up.
It's looking in the mirror. It's actually an episode that I had in my first season, bro, where you have to come to grasp of the reality of who you are. Like right now, when I was saying about how I blow up with my family, I'm not saying that that's okay. It's not okay. Now I've come to the understanding of like, I got to ask myself the question, why did I blow up? And what caused me to get pushed to that limit? And then you really and men don't know how to do this, bro. You really discover your feelings of why you blew up. So then the next time that happens, you know how to like adjust to it. And now I'm noticing I'm a lot more patient than what I used to be. My kids and my family might tell you, no, he's not. But that's another story for another time. But me, I know it's taken a lot of effort and a lot of change because you naturally go to your default setting. Your default setting is what I'm used to and what I'm accustomed to. And it's just, I'm going to blow up. But your new setting is the one that says, wait, hold up, you're about to. Why? And then you kind of figure it out from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Alfredo, we've been pretty much talking for about 40 minutes already, bro. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
It goes by so quick because the conversation gets so good. I definitely want to hit a little bit before we wrap it up. I want to hit a little bit more about this little girl.
Okay.
So, what's her name?
Adelina.
Adalina. Adalina Jaime.
Hey.
And how old is she now?
She's a year and 10 months.
A year and 10 months, bro. Did
In
you,
November.
if I would tell Alfredo 3 years ago, so obviously before she was born, if I told Alfredo 3 years ago you would have a baby, what would that Alfredo tell me?
I would be like,
You're crazy.
no, well, 3 years ago, we were already like, I was already talking to Vero, so.
Yeah, but it didn't mean you guys were talking about a kid.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, that's true. Honestly, I think that I would have been like, not too shocked because I think that inside I was like kind of ready for something like that. You know, I knew that I was already getting older. I didn't want to be like an old dad, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't think I would be like 3 years ago, I would be like, oh, damn, really? Like, damn, like, how are we going to figure this out, you know? Yeah, she was honestly like she's come with a lot of like struggles, obviously, and a lot of like different types of headaches and things that I've never felt, emotions that I've never felt. But at the end of the day, it's like she's been such a blessing, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like even with me, you know, and bet like everything about her has really like shown me so much. You know what I mean? Like it really has. Like I have a lot of work to do still as a dad, as a husband, as everything, you know, like I really love them, bro,
Yeah,
you know? So
yeah.
it's like when you really love someone, you really have to like figure it out, you
Yeah,
know? And
yeah.
sometimes I'm like, bro, I don't know how to figure it out. So sometimes I feel like I have to stay quiet, you know? And I need a little bit of time,
To
like,
process.
and to think and not to say stupid stuff and to like, you know,
so good.
to make things a lot better. But yeah, at the end of the day, she was like, she's been a big blessing to us, you know?
It changes your life now that you become a parent, because I think you guys can tell me if I'm right or wrong. You could even tell me if I'm right or wrong. But once you have kids, once you have a wife or a girlfriend, I'm not sure the status that you guys are in, but
We're in love.
and with that and with that being said, I also want to give shout out to Vero. She was our coworker at Barron HR. Not sure where she's working at right now, but nevertheless, shout out. You know what's up. The point I'm getting to is what I was saying was when you have kids, when you have a family, a wife, and now you have your small little family. I think God shows you like he unlocks a door where you get to experience love in a new way, where you're just like, I kind of understand God a little bit more. I kind of understand why he would sacrifice his own son to save us. I kind of understand why he loves us so much, because now I know I would do anything for my kids, you know, because I'm sure if I tell you something for her, like something's going to cause damage to her, you're like, nah, give it to me.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So as a dad, now that your life now you have a different type of love, what has been a moment that you're just like, dude, I can't believe like this little person is the one that depends on me. Like you got to go back and think, like, you used to come home from school and be like, Mom, Dad, because you needed something from them.
Yeah.
This person's going to be the one looking for you.
I know. That's a big reason of like what I'm doing, you know, because I don't want her to be like, hey, my dad this or my dad that, you know, like, and even if all goes wrong, like she's going to know, like, hey, this guy was actually doing the most he could, you know, because for me, like what I'm doing, obviously, like I'm 100% in entrepreneurship, but at the same time, like I think like, man, who cares? At the end of the day, I could go back and get a job like everybody else.
Correct.
You know, I'm not scared of that.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, exactly.
Like if this all goes wrong, then I just go to work.
People that get afraid of a full-time job is because they have an ego problem, bro. If you have no ego, you do what you got to do for your family.
Yeah,
because I don't think the entrepreneurship will ever stop. I think you're going to keep looking for it. I'm going to keep looking for it, whether the Mac Effect is successful or whether it's not.
Yeah.
If I have to go back to a job, I will, but I will not let this die.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to make sure this continues one way or another, you know?
Yeah.
So, anyways, guys, well, look at this pretty little face.
Yeah,
Hi, little
sorry.
girl.
I don't know how to brush her hair.
Hi, little girl.
Only Vero does it.
Well, I would tell you I would brush it, bro, but it's a little harder for me,
Me la
man.
dejó peinada and she takes it off, bro.
Vero, peínala, Vero, no
She'll
seas
like,
mala.
she'll like take her little thing off, bro, and then I'm supposed to try to fix it, and I'm
Hey,
like,
little girl, if you're down, I have a 4-year-old son. We can arrange a marriage. We can make it work. We can make it work. Your dad likes me already. We're already in a good place.
that's funny.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome,
Yeah,
Alfredo.
but yeah, honestly, all around has been like for sure like a life-changing experience, you know. But sometimes I feel like I'll see her in the back and I'm like, dang, I have a kid. Like, shoot, she's like, Papa, or like those moments of like cuddling and like when she sees you, like, I don't know, you know those kids, they do like their little baby eyes and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, manches,
JJ
bro.
did it to me today. Right now, when I picked him up from school, he saw me from far. He noticed me, and he just started running, and he hugged me. And those moments, like, hit me, bro. Hit me because I'm just like, I love you so much, bro. Like, you mean so much to me.
All those moments of struggle are like, boom, you know? Like, and Bro, it's crazy. Not a lot of people understand that. Like the struggles of having a kid, a toddler. Like I don't know, people sometimes make it out to be like so easy, but it's such a hard
Yeah,
job, you
yeah.
know. And that's why I know. That's why I know. Like
Who's
people
gonna
get,
take care of her? I gotta go to work. I
yeah,
have a meeting. I have to do
yeah,
this, but I have to,
bro.
like, it's
I
tough.
made it happen with her.
Yeah,
With her,
yeah,
bro. You
yeah.
know, like somehow, some way, God made it happen, bro.
I get you.
You
I
know,
mean, we
like
have her here on the Mac Effect.
yeah, like I trip out.
We
I
make it
know.
work.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know, and then I have a really good friend of mine. You know, his name's Beto Part, the owner of that gym where I'm at work, right? And earlier, you know, I had her in the gym too, and he was like, "Damn, like she's paying attention. Like this is so good for her." You know, because she's watching you do things and she's learning and then now I got a whole different perspective of everything. You know, like here I was thinking I was struggling all the time, but nah. You know, like that, like I not to say I'm not struggling, I take that back, but like these moments of her watching me, like bro, she's not watching what is that show called Bluetooth or something, right? You know what I mean? She's watching real life stuff, bro. You know, and she watches in the gym when I train, and the other day she was hitting the little thing, and I'm like, dang, like this is what she needs, you know. And here I am.
She's gonna be a reflection of you and of Vettel, bro.
Yeah, so now I'm like, oh my gosh, like this, I have to keep this rolling, you know? And of course, it's hard to do these things with her, you know? But I don't want to take her to the gym with every person. It's not going to happen. But
I get what you're saying, bro.
The times that I need to,
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
you know, like I will. And like,
what I know viewers are capturing from what you're saying is like when there's a will, there's a way.
yeah.
Like if your passion is to do this, like she's not gonna stop you. As a matter of fact, you're gonna be a part of this as well.
Yeah, because I remember when she was born too, and like I would think like, damn, people say that you can't get into shape or whatever, right? Like, oh, they make like all these things, and I'm like, for me, that would be the easy part right now, you know? Like if all I had to do was get into shape, and that was that, sign me up, you know?
Yeah.
But I had so much other stuff on my mind, like how am I gonna pay for this, or how am I gonna do this? Like, I mean, there's, like I said, there's so much to talk about, because like then I also I had let go of my job, my 9 to 5, I didn't have the gym anymore. I wasn't training anybody. So picture, I was at zero with the baby, bro.
Wow.
And not working.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And somehow, some way, God pulled me out, bro.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
like it. I like it. You're ending it in a really, really high note, because as you guys can tell, there's a lot to the story. There's a lot to life that we can't just explain in 40, 50 minutes. Like, we need more time, but I just can't have it right now, Alfredo. But I know we need more time. If in the future we bring you back and we just do part 2, there's a lot of people, bro, a lot of people that I bring that tell me like, man, there's more. And I'm like, we'll bring you back. Don't worry. We'll bring you back, because one thing that I like is that genuine, honest conversations. And I love that. Because you were very vulnerable in things that you were saying, but at the end of the day, God will see you through, man. And I really, really appreciate that. Alfredo, what are your social medias where people can find you at?
So on Instagram, I'm the corrective exercise coach. I work out of Work Fitness Center in the city of Fullerton. So what I'm doing right now is I'm providing corrective exercise for people that are hurt, but not hurt and haven't done like PT or not cleared. Like where you got hurt, you went to the doctor, you did a little physical therapy, they told you you're clear to work out, you're not feeling so good, come in, I can help you. Obviously, I can't promise anything because the human body is crazy. Well, there's so much to it, right?
And everyone's different.
What I will promise you is that I'll give it my all, and you'll know that.
Yeah.
You know, you'll know that we're trying to achieve the goal, because I don't have control of what you do after.
Correct.
Before, you know, like
your eating habits.
Yes, all I can do is help you in that moment. But I also do boxing. You know, I'm like I've done a lot of stuff. I never noticed, but I did kickboxing, boxing. I do a lot of strength training. I've done powerlifting, so I know a little bit about everything. But I really like corrective exercise, because I feel like that's where it really helps people.
Yeah.
In a real way.
Yeah.
Like I can help you get ripped. There's so much to fitness, right? Because people will see a big bodybuilder. I'm like, oh, you want to be like that? So let me tell you what it is. You're going to have to take a little bit of test. You're going to have to take a little bit of trend. You're like, let's be real, right? right? And if not, if you want to live a healthy lifestyle, you want to be okay, well, then just eat right, live good. But you're not going to look like this guy. You're going to look like a normal person, you know? Like, but if you want that look, then let's be real about it, you know? I'm not going to come and tell you, yeah, we'll get you looking like that in a year. Like, come on, I could, but you're going to need to take some stuff.
Correct.
You know? Like,
Correct.
I got you, but know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
You know?
And I like that, dude. I like that. You're like, look, my focus is tell me what you want. We could work either as a team, and I can be as detailed as possible, and I can be as less detailed as possible.
Yeah.
We can make it happen in a year. We can make it happen in 5 years. We can, like, it all depends on the pace of the person of what they want to do.
Yeah, and the relationships that you build during these times, you know, like it's crazy, man. You go from client to friend so quickly, you know, and it's like, and everybody needs that, you know. Even me, I need a trainer, you know. Like, I would love to have someone to, like, you know, help me out and do my thing, but obviously, like, it's not cost efficient for everybody, you know, and then to find the time and to do all of that. So, but eventually, you know, when I get more settled in and everything, I would love to have a fitness trainer, that's somebody that I can respect and rely on and have good conversations and motivate me.
Correct.
You know, because that's what we need.
I agree.
And your circle is like the biggest thing that is like in your life. If your circle's not good, it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
You know?
I think we invest in the things that we care about. If we really care about our fitness, we'll find times. If we really want to develop our minds, we got to read. Like, we will find times. Like, antes, I hated reading. Now I love it because I'm learning that it's helping me develop here, and then it goes out here. So it's just whatever, like, you're going to invest in where your passion is.
Yes. Because so many people are ready for the next drop.
Yeah.
What's going to, like, $500 drop on this new brand. And if you notice, like, most fitness trainers, they're dressing with, like, you know, swagged out, you know, like, they're swaggy. So when I started, you know, when I first did, like, my first 3 weeks, you know, I wanted to get back in the rhythm. I wanted to do my thing. Bro, I was wearing, like, I was not, you know,
not brand name.
All I was doing was focusing on the value. You know, once I knew that I created this value, then I'm like, okay, what are we going to do next? So my next step was to come more a professional look, more like, hey, this person is serious about what he's doing. So, you know, I decided to get polo. You know, I got my stuff, got it stitched up, because presentation is a big thing.
Of course.
You know, so,
but that goes gradually, you know, goes gradually.
And this is like a side thought, but I really appreciate how you said, like, that you saw the growth in my page, because that was what I was doing. I was like, you know what am I going to do? I don't want to confuse people. I want they click on this page and know what I'm doing, you know? And like, and to be honest, like, I feel like we're just barely getting started. You know?
So good.
Yeah, like, we're barely, we haven't even touched on what we want to do yet.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, we're like, this whole time I've been creating value only. That's the only thing that's been in my head.
It's crazy you say that. That's how I feel with the Mac Effect.
Yeah, bro, that's the way. If you just think about the value that you're gonna create, everything will flow.
Yeah, at some point,
you know?
yeah, God's gonna take its course. I agree.
Yeah, because you're gonna meet the right people.
You're doing it right.
Yeah, you're doing it right.
And
if you're like, say,
and you're not doing shortcuts.
Yeah, because if, say that I was going back and I'm like, you know what, this person wants me to train, help them out or whatever, and I have a certain rate, they can't even pay that, and I'm like, you know what, nah, you know. What's that gonna do for me? You know, say I turn around and say, you know what, let me help this person. Let's make this time. Let's create this. Let's see what is wrong with them. Maybe it's been different than a lot of other people. When I gained some experience, they help me, I help them. Then maybe they go back and they say, hey, you know, this trainer was pretty cool, or maybe not, but still, it's better than not doing nothing.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
It's better than not doing anything.
Correct.
And you're following your dreams. And for somebody also be like, oh, what? Like, you didn't even get paid? Like, you're messing up. And it's like, no, wait till you blow up. Then they're going to be like, hey, bro, how did you do it?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
Like, what is this? How, like, same with staffing. When you start building, like, the stuff, everybody's like, hey, what did you do? How did you do it? But when you're cold calling and getting this, they're like,
ahí no están.
You know, so it's just like, you know.
I agree. Well, look, guys. He mentioned where you guys can follow him. I'm going to make sure if it already didn't come out on the screen where you guys are going to see where you can follow him, I'll add it again just so that you guys can have it. You could hear it. You can't fake passion. You can hear it in the way he communicates, in the way he expresses himself. Corrective exercising is not just something that he just does it because he wants to get a paycheck or make money. Now, does in this world, do we need to make money? Absolutely. Do we need to feed our families? Absolutely. Do we want finer things in life? There's nothing wrong with that. But again, when you find your niche, when you find your passion, it comes out. Like you can feel it. You don't, like you can feel people's hearts, and you can feel that this is something that he's like, dude, I just like helping people in that area. And in my area, I like helping people in their emotional estate, in their estate where they've never even questioned, I got a daddy issue, I got a mama issue, I got a brother, sister issue, right? Because we need to fix almost every area in our lives, mental, physical, and emotional. Like it's crazy, guys. So with that being said, guys, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for hearing my homie Alfredo out. I got more episodes coming this season, guys. More great guests coming over. You guys are going to hear different conversations, different testimonies from different people. But more than anything, coming back, Alfredo, thank you so much, bro, for coming. Thank you for sharing. We might bring it back because there's a lot more that we can desarrollar and just show people. But I just, from the bottom of my heart, bro, thank you so much, bro. Yeah, thank you.
Para la otra, you go to the gym and we'll do like a flexing video.
Well, you can flex, bro, but me too. Hey, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. See you guys next week. Peace.